Imagine Ghana like California with Sunset Boulevard. Johannesburg would be Miami. Somalia like New York with the most pretty light. The toughest pretty car. Every New Year the African Times Square lock off. Imagine Lagos like Las Vegas. The ballers them a ball. Angola like Atlanta.
What's up, foolies? I'm back. So today I'm going to discuss a little bit about this article done by The Root, a black website that's to focus on black issues. And the issue of today is, is the Tea Party now, not racist? Or, of course, the whole Tea Party is not racist. I'm not going to put a blanket over the Tea Party, but, the question is, are there not racist factions in the GOP and in the Tea Party now that they could potentially vote for a black president and put a black president that represents the conservatives in power? And my answer to that is, of course, it doesn't prove that they're not racist. Like, look at all the stuff that they said about Barack Obama. Like, come on, man, Mark Williams of the Tea Party. Are we gonna forget the letter that this dude had to the NAACP, where he was putting himself in the shoes of a black person during the emancipation of slaves and saying that basically that blacks can't think for themselves, and we won't do anything unless we're taken from other people, and if we don't have a big screen TV, it's ridiculous. It's sickening. But like, nobody was surprised by that, especially black people, my family, my family who grew up in Birmingham, Alabama in the 1960s and 70s. We all know what went on down there, how it was codenamed Bombingham. It wasn't, whatever, but we all know what went on in Birmingham, Alabama. The people who pay attention and understand, the culture of America, understand what America is really about and what it stemmed from. Mark Williams, the former guy of the Tea Party, leader, somewhat of a leader. I'm not going to say he represents the whole Tea Party, because he didn't. He was in there trying to grasp for a position and trying to better his career, and he did that at the Tea Party's expense, which is kind of sad because he definitely tainted the whole party. But that's what happens when you don't call out racism and you allow it to build up until it gets out of hand, and it's too late to turn back. But Mark Williams, was saying that the Tea Party can't be racist. It's impossible to be racist because we're constitutionalists. Well, did you forget about the 3/5 clause in the Constitution that said that blacks were only 3/5 of a vote? So if we didn't fight to amend the Constitution and we kept the Constitution the way it was, it would be very racist. like how do you not see that? Of course, most people who are watching this understand that. I'm not talking to most people who have been listening to what I say. I'm talking to people who haven't really been paying attention to my video segments. But back to Herman Cain real quick. Let me bring this up. Yeah, I mean, the reason why they love Herman Cain is because he stands for everything that they want a black man to stand for. They want a black man, again, not the whole Tea Party, not the whole GOP, not all conservatives, because there are black conservatives, there are white conservatives, whatever. And if you're a black conservative, I'm not going to say you're Uncle Tom. That's just out of place, that's out of line, and it's not true. Everybody falls into a movement or takes the sides of a certain position, because of whatever, and that's your right to do so. But let's be real. Herman Cain, said that he never participated in the civil rights movement, and he says it's because he was a high schooler, he didn't want to get involved. So he never participated in that. He's not African American, so he has no African ancestry. He's only black. So God only came down with his bare hands and placed Herman Cain here and cut off all his ancestry to any African slave trade or anything like that. So he never was black, or never was African. Let's make sure he's black, not African. If you don't have a job, you're lazy, he says. If you're homeless, it's your fault, And who are the people who are most affected by joblessness and homelessness and innocent drug charges? They're blacks, especially black males. You think Herman Cain's going to bring that up? Of course not. He can't bring that up. If Obama couldn't bring it up as a liberal, you think Herman Cain, as running as a conservative, is going to bring that up? Keep hoping. Keep hoping. Keep that hope alive. He said niggerhead. Excuse me, I'm going to use a word. I already used it. My bad. But niggerhead. That's what Rick Perry's Rock said on his little private ranch. And Herman Cain's like, well, that's not really an issue anymore. You know, racism is not really, you know, the same anymore, and that word doesn't have the same power, so I'm going to let it go. Okay, dude, I want you to tell that to my parents, my grandparents, if they were still alive. You know, some people's grandparents who are alive, who grew up during that time period, tell them that that word doesn't hold the same meaning anymore. Tell them that. You know, and of course, with Herman Cain, racism doesn't exist. And with people on the right, racism doesn't exist unless it comes from the liberals. Not to say that the liberals can't be racist, but let's be real. When you're looking at the GOP and the right, especially the far right, where is their stronghold? Their stronghold is in the South. Now, I believe that in the South there was this thing called slavery that used to go on. I don't know. You guys might be able to refresh my memory on that, but yeah, I think I remember when FDR tried to pass the New Deal, he had to actually he had to allow the South and the Southern Democrats at the time, he had to allow them to keep lynching blacks in order to get their votes. If he put in any bill or any amendment or whatever to allow or to stop the lynching as his wife wanted, as the First Lady wanted, then the Southern Democrats wouldn't have voted for the New Deal. So he had to allow lynching to keep happening because the South loved that crap so much. You know? So let's not forget a little bit about history. Let's not forget what the South really stood for until the Civil Rights Movement had to come in and fight for their rights. But that's it. I'm not falling for this you know, the Tea Party doesn't have a racial base in it. You know, it's an insurance policy. It's like, look, it's like the black friend. It's like, look, if I vote for this guy, you can't ever call me racist because I voted for a black guy, like Donald Trump said. You know, I let a brother man win, so I can't be racist. Whatever. That's it, though. Appreciate y'all for listening. Tried to keep that short. It's tough. Got a lot to say. But let me know your views on the whole, you know, is the Tea Party no longer racist? Do they no longer have racist factions? Are they no longer based, you know, in racial thoughts now that they could potentially vote for a black candidate for presidency? So let me know. But that's it.